Welcome back in, everyone, to another episode of Wednesdays at the Wink. I'm TJ Downing with the SMG Network, and we're here, as always, at the Washington Square Winking Lizard right across the street from campus, Walsh University campus, and we're always rocking Walsh Athletics with the Cavaliers. Remember, download the Walsh Cavalier Athletics mobile app by going to Google Play or Apple Store. Wherever you get your app, stay up to date on stats, scores, schedules. Make sure you buy tickets to come and support not only the women's volleyball team, but all athletics programs here at Walsh University. And whether you're going to Larry Stow Field, Alumni Arena to check them out, make sure to stop by the Winking Lizard here at Washington Square. Patronize them before, after, whatever it may be. Stop over here. Always a great time. Food, drinks, beverages, all the good stuff right here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. All right, let's jump right into it here as I believe we are on episode number 5. And I have my Buckeye brother, Coach Brett Holt. Man, whirlwind first season, huh? Last year coming in, new heights, hitting unprecedented marks for the women's volleyball team. Kind of talk about how that all shaped out. I mean, it was so fun to see. It was so fun to feel the energy over there at Alumni Arena. A lot of great things with this girl right here, Aurora Levengood. I'll let you talk about her here in just a second, but tell us how that whole first year went for you, man. So many great things happened for the Walsh Cavalier women's volleyball team.
Yeah, you know, everybody asked what it was like. Couldn't really have scripted a better first season. Like we talked in last year's, came into a good environment first and foremost. Like the roster was pretty set. It was just get them to play a little differently than they were used to, holding them accountable, just a little bit of discipline on the volleyball side. But it was a good experience. Like I said, couldn't script it any better. They were awesome. Our fan support was awesome. We have good parent support, administration, everything. So I couldn't have really dreamt it any better. Wish we could have finished it a little better. I think we all felt that way. But it was a good stepping stone and something good to build on for this year.
Aurora Levengood, Tuskegee Valley grad, and obviously an integral part of last year's team. And when Coach talked about, finishing a certain way, may not have finished, had a lot of great things throughout the season, may not have finished the way you wanted to, but talk about how you, as a leader of the women's volleyball team, you take what happened last year, the finish of it, rolling into the 2024 season, and really what the, what the expectations are for this year.
Yeah, I mean, the way that we ended obviously isn't how we wanted things to go. And I think that all the returners felt that feeling pretty strongly last year. We had a great season rolling and then just struggled towards the end. So I think we're working out all the kinks and everything early this year. We're facing the adversity, and I think that we're working together and more collectively. I think that we focus on, unity and working as one team. We don't have, we obviously have a bunch of very talented people, but I think that we're focused on the team as a whole, and that our goal ultimately is to make it as far as we possibly can. And it's not about individual stats. It's not about who individually is performing well. It's about performing well next to each other and continuing to pick each other up each and every day. So. Yeah,
a lot of that really, when you talk about how you want to finish, Coach, it's putting some hardware in the trophy case, right? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And we did that, if you ask.
GMAC champs of the North, right?
There's really nothing bad about what happened last year. It's just unfortunate timing, I think. I said if you put that last week and a half of season in the middle of last year, it's a different story. And it was just a different pressure that these girls the program hadn't faced at that time. And so I think it just got to us a little bit. But it made us better this year.
Yeah, and when you think about some of those things making you better, or for this year, right now you guys are on a 6-game win streak. Talk about last night, 3-1 over Clarion, and you obviously when you go on the road, it's a little bit more difficult. You're going into that kind of the hornet's nest, so to say, right? But I know a lot of athletes and competitors, they thrive on that. But just kind of break down last night. Talk about the energy not only from your crew, but what you guys may have faced and seen, and ultimately handled and walked away with a 3-1 victory over Clarion.
Yeah, I mean, Clarion's a good team. I think that it was a great experience for us to have them on our schedule, to be able to play them, especially at this point in our season. I think that it's nice to be able to have teams that you can battle with. I think that learning to play together and having the pressure put on you in games and situations like that. At one point we were down, I think 6 or 7 points, and we came back and ended up winning that set.
Nice.
So I think that having those challenges and finding ways to overcome it as a team ultimately will help us in the long run. And I think that last night our team as a whole just showed a lot of grit. Like, we worked hard, we battled each and every play, and I think that that says a lot about a team. And I think that whenever it comes down to it towards the end of season, those little things, those little plays, and making the extra effort to make sure that we work hard each and every play, I think that that will help us get to the ultimate goal of where we want to be. So.
Yeah, we're 11 good. Coach Brett Holt joining us here on Wednesdays at the Wink here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Also want to give a special shout out to Bell Stores, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, BSN Sports, Huntington Bank, and the Sam Center, serving area military, giving back over 13,000 pounds of food to veteran families in need every first and third Friday of the month. Get behind them when you can. Coach, one of the things I kind of picked up from what Aurora just said there was, and tell me your philosophy, which we talked a little bit about last year, coming in first season, what kind of fingerprint, what kind of stamp did you want to put on your program now, but really kind of handling adversity, right? When you're down 6 or 7 and you got to kind of see that grit, see what, your girls are made of. Is that something that really in the back of your mind when you go back and you kind of, self-scout yourself and say, you know what, okay, I just really saw something special here, because that's kind of the hardest thing to do, if you ask me, when it comes to sport in general, is how do young student athletes handle adversity, right?
Yeah, and we talk about that, not only just volleyball, but getting yourself ready for the real world.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. The sports play a big role in that, and our volunteer assistant didn't make the trip, and her first message in the group meet last night was how well they played and just how scrappy. And, a couple weeks ago, I don't know that we would say that, but when she talked about grit and just being scrappy and going for balls and keeping balls in play, everybody did their job last night against a very good Clarion team. We put them on the schedule hoping that regionally it was a match on the road that would challenge us,
Mm-hmm.
And prepare us for this middle to the end of half of our conference. And, they won the PSAC, they won the Atlantic region last year, and they went to the Elite Eight. So it was a huge win for us and hopefully a confidence builder.
Yeah, and when you start to think about what's ahead here now, tomorrow night you guys are going to take that little trip down Market Avenue and take on Malone Pioneers. That's a different type of energy in itself, right? And, one of the things that really stuck out to me from last year was, seeing President Collins. I got it from your perspective. You look up there and you see President Collins crowd surfing. I can only imagine what I would have thought if I looked up in Varsity O and I saw Karen Holbrook, crowd surfing down. That's got to be really to know that you'll have a ton of fans that'll travel because it's close in proximity, and the rivalry in itself. When you start to think about how for you being a second-year guy and coaching and feeling the rival, what's that energy like when you guys are lining up and taking on Malone?
I think it's just like any other match, really, for us. We don't really talk about the rivalry so much as far as like us coaching staff to the players. We try to approach each match the same. We try to take care of business, and afterwards maybe we say something. But we try not to get up on the hype, because again, it's another road game, whether it's 5 minutes or 2 hours down the street. And we just want to play our best and be a better version of ourselves. And I think if we do that, then the results take care of themselves.
Yeah, for you, Aurora, when you get to go over there compared to hosting Malone, you think it through, some of the highlights of your career here at Walsh University. What are kind of some of the things that stick out to you, and what have been like some of those key moments for you as a Walsh Cavalier women's volleyball team member?
Oh, man, like highlights from my whole career.
There's a lot, huh?
It's been a different experience for me, because every year I've had a different experience, and every year you have a different group of girls. And so I think that I've had a lot of highlights just with the girls, whether that's on the court or off the court, and having a new set of people come in each and every year. Like, every year looks different.
Yeah.
And every year you have to face adversity with new people, and you continue to pick each other up each and every time because you're all going through the same thing. You're all student athletes. Everybody's struggling with school, trying to balance all the things. But I think that whenever we have big wins together, they're always huge. That Hillsdale match last year, huge. Like, that was an experience that, like, I will probably never forget. Like, the atmosphere of the gym, playing with the people next to me, like, all those things, huge deal. Being able to have a conference title, like, last year was a huge year for us. But even the adversity that I'd faced, like, freshman, sophomore year, like, having my girls there to have my back, like, that has probably been, like, the highlight of my whole career. Like, having the friendships that I have now, like, being surrounded by the people that I do. Like, I've had 3 different coaches since I've been here, so the girls have been kind of what kept me here. So
yeah, those friendships last a lifetime. And
yeah.
Coach, I think you got a good one here, man, talking about adversity. And I mean, what, for you, I mean, I'm sure, as a coach, you have different conversations with some of your leaders, and like, what does leadership look like to you when you start to think about, being the one that everybody kind of looks to when when things aren't going your way, and everybody's looking to you to be the example, be the leader. I mean, what's that feel like? I mean, a lot of people don't understand, leadership to an extent of you have to know everybody's a different case. Some people are rah-rah, some people are like, you just got to kind of calm them down a little bit. And for you, I mean, developing into that role, what's that kind of like for you?
I mean, kind of what you said. I take it to heart, learning all the things that I can about my teammates. Like, certain people obviously react differently in certain situations. Some people don't want to sit there and have a pep talk. Some people just need a nice pat on the back, maybe a hand hold. Some people on my team, literally, I'll hold their hand for 3 seconds and we walk away and we're good to go. Like, just understanding those things, and like, whenever it's hard to be positive, I have to step into that role and try and be as positive as I can, because even when we are struggling, there's always positives that can come out of something. Whether someone had a good pass to start the play even though we didn't get the point, whether someone had a nice block touch, like something along those lines, always finding the positive, I think, helps to kind of lift the mood. And I think that that's something that I try my best to do, to make sure that we can at least find one positive out of each and every play.
Yeah.
And so that way everybody at least can be like, okay, so there was something positive that came out of it. Now let's build and let's grow. So,
Coach, when you start to think about some of the expectations coming into this year, I mean, when you have success like you did and you kind of hit new heights within a program, then you put that target on your back, right? So, and, I know one of the things we kind of talked about last year when you came in your first year was, okay, so who is the measuring stick inside of the GMAC, right? And now you guys have put yourself into that upper echelon. You always expect that you're going to get everybody's best, but everybody wants to take down the Walsh Cavaliers now. So it's a whole different feeling, and it's really something that you have to make the ladies aware of, right?
Yeah, we talked about that too. Like, last year was kind of, we shocked people with just how the level that we upped our game and the consistency of which we played with. This year, with the success we had, we knew going in, especially on the road, but at home, that there was going to be no surprises. And so that's just, again, that's just a different feeling. And so having to play your best all the time because you're going to get the best effort put at you is just different. So we're learning that. We started off 3-4, and people were like, what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, no.
And, we took that trip to Florida on purpose to play. We played 2 nationally ranked teams down there and a third.
It was Palm Beach and who else?
Lynn and Barry,
okay,
which are still nationally ranked in the top 20. And then Palm Beach Atlantic was our third opponent, who is in the top half of that Southern States Conference. And we came back from there, and we won a big match to come back. And then after that, we hit some adversity, and we had 3 starters out for the opening weekend of conference play. We went to Thomas More, and we just played flat and without 3 starters and lost. And like, anybody that's missing 3 starters is not going to do well on the road. And so, since then we've been getting healthy again, and I think that was, we talk about adversity. I think that was a big stepping stone and learning about our team and learning about each other and knowing that, we have to be healthy, but if not, that we can compete still.
Yeah, for both of you guys, before we get you out of here, again, I appreciate you joining us on Wednesdays at the Wink here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. When you think about this year, and we're kind of right in the middle, right? We're sitting here 10-5. What do you want most people to remember? Again, a lot of volleyball left to be played, but what do you want people to remember most about this year's women's volleyball team when it's all said and done, however far it goes? Obviously, I'm sitting here banking on national championship, but what do you want people to remember most about the 2024 team?
For me, I think that it's important that we show kind of a positive outlook on the game of volleyball. Like, you want people to walk into a gym and enjoy watching the game instead of sitting there being like, well, this team's flat, this team's whatever. I think that we take a lot of pride in the excitement that we have for each other and playing as one team and the grit that we have, like I talked about earlier. Like, we battle through adversity. And things like that, I don't feel like people should take for granted. Like, I think that being able to watch a team that will pick each other up and that will support each other, I think that that goes a long way, and I think it says volumes about a team. And so I think that whenever we leave, I want people to look back and be like, wow, they really were a collective team. Like, they worked as one. They fought every single point. Like, they were that team that wanted every single win in their win column. They worked hard to make sure that they got those wins. So,
Coach, for you?
I think, comparing the last 2 years, I think the best thing could happen is we continue to progress and get better each game.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, still be sitting where we were in a position.
And it's not always fair to compare teams from last year to this year because it's just a whole different makeup, right?
Yeah. But knowing that we did it with the adversity that we had in this first part of the season, so that would be special to me as a coach. And then again, just being able to represent Walsh Volleyball, not only on our campus and our community, but we have some community outreach stuff that we're getting ready to do. So all that factors into it. Just knowing that we have good people that are willing to help out each other and be there for each other and reach out and be in the community.
Talk about some of that stuff if you can real quick. I know there are some certain events coming up. I know that you'll have the big Halloween event that'll be up here, Boo at the Woo. Are there some other certain things that women's volleyball will be taking part in?
Yeah, we do Second and Seven, which is a national literacy program. Jody, our volunteer assistant, is a third grade teacher. So we go with baseball and softball and us. And we read to the kids at third grade as part of that national program. So we're going there October 24th. We actually go there 3-4 times a year. So it's just awesome. The kids, they sign autographs. The girls, the student athletes, read to the kids, and then we eat lunch. And it's just a big ordeal, but it's awesome to see the kids react and have interact.
I believe that was something that some of our Buckeye brothers started up, right? Rabel and Ryan Miller and those guys, the Second and Seven Foundation. They've done a phenomenal job with that, and how it's grown throughout the entire country, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so we're glad we could be a part of it, and I know it hits home here in the Louisville area.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Coach Brett Holt joining us here along with Aurora Levengood, Wednesdays at the Wink. When we come back, we're going to have two more young ladies joining us here, and we're going to talk a little bit more women's volleyball right here across from campus, Walsh University. Again, remember, Walsh Cavalier Athletics mobile app. Make sure to download that. Google Play, Apple Store, wherever you get your apps. You can stay up to date on scores, schedules, stats, find out everything that these girls are doing, find out how you can get tickets. Make sure to come over and support them in Alumni Arena. And before or after those events, make sure you stop out here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. All right, we'll be back with more from the Winking Lizard here after this. Welcome back into Wednesdays at the Wink right here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. TJ Downing with the SMG Network here on campus, across the street from campus, with the Walsh Cavaliers and the Walsh Cavalier women's volleyball team. Remember, stay up to date with them on everything that they do by downloading the Walsh Cavalier Athletic mobile app, by going to Google Play, Apple Store, or wherever you get your apps. Find out about scores, stats, schedules, purchase tickets, because tomorrow you guys are going to be going on the road right down Market Avenue to take on the Malone Lone Pioneers. That's the rival. We're going to talk about that. We're going to dig into that a little bit. But now I'm joined by Anna West and Jamie Zeckler. We'll dig into a little bit about where you came from, how you got here, how the recruiting process looked like for you guys, really how volleyball kind of became a staple in your life and allowed you to compete in it at the college athletics level. Shout out always to the Great Midwest Athletics Conference. For you guys, coming off the road last night, okay, you go over and take on Clarion. Just had a chance to talk to Coach Brett Holt, talk to Aurora Levengood. Clarion, tough opponent, right? I mean, to go over there and Aurora talked about it, handling a little bit of adversity. You guys were down at times, but Clarion, a really, really tough opponent. You're going out of state, on the road, everything you have to deal with being a student athlete, a lot to handle when you have to take that road trip. But tell me about a 3-1 victory. Tell me about a 6-game win streak and really where everything sits right now for women's volleyball here at Walsh University.
Yeah, I think bringing in so many new people, we didn't know how the season was going to go, but we just keep building on it. Coming in and beating Clarion on the road was amazing, and I think we can just keep going up from here.
Yeah, last night specifically, we had a lot of people step up. We were in sort of a rut at the beginning of the season, and we had some people that got hurt, some people that were sick, and we really just got healthy. And you can tell that we are on the up and up right now. We are a team that people are going to want to beat because we're not just going to settle. We weren't going to settle for that little rut we were in. We said we're going to get better, and we're going to work hard every day, and you can tell every day that we're getting better.
Yeah, Jamie, I had a chance to talk to Coach Holt about that, and really, the target that gets put on your back after last season, and you obviously transferring in from Notre Dame, that's something that maybe you didn't really understand or you're starting to understand more now, but coming in and doing that, transferring in, and you come out of Trinity and Garfield Heights, and really for you, how did you end up landing here at Walsh? You knew that you wanted to transfer out, obviously, with everything that closed down up there. It was tough not for everybody. We've had the rugby team come on here and talk about that. You're searching for a new home, right? Mm-hmm. How did it end up being right here in North Canton at Walsh University?
So I knew that when it came down to transferring, I knew that I wanted to be at a school that was the greatest. Mm-hmm. So I saw the season they had last year, and I said, I want to be a part of that. What can I do to get there? I talked to Coach Holt, and he was like, I want you here. What can I do? And we had a little talk, and I looked at a lot of schools. There were lots of schools that I did look at, even some other ones in this conference, but this is the best team, and I wanted to be on the best team with the best girls. I met the girls, and it was immediate. I want to be her teammate. I want to set her. I want to set Anna West.
Yeah. He said, come on, swords up. Let's go.
I was like, let's do it. Let's win another conference.
Anna, you come out of Greensburg, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
For you, as you hear what Jamie mentioned, when you're a senior, you've seen transfers come in, you've seen people go. What's that like trying to figure out the right chemistry of, not all transfers are meant to be on your team, right? Some people just don't fit. Personalities are different, and to hear her say that, like, I want to come and be with the best. I want to play alongside you. How do you guys accept somebody like her, and how does she fit in the whole chemistry of the team?
Yeah, I think it was different for them coming in because they didn't necessarily choose to leave. Mm-hmm. They loved where they were at, and they loved playing there, but having them come in and bring that love, her and Kylie bring that love to Walsh and just want to compete and want to be a part of our team and do what they can, I think it was amazing, and you can tell that they want to just come and compete.
Yeah, so coming out of Greensburg, really, how did volleyball kind of fit into your life? Did you always know that coming out of high school you wanted to play sports in college, and really, was it always volleyball? Was there anything else in the mix? And really, ultimately, how did you end up here at Walsh University?
Yeah, so I played volleyball and basketball in high school, but it's always been volleyball. Mm-hmm. And recruiting was definitely different for me because it was during COVID.
Oh, yes.
Yep, and so to be completely honest, I didn't know Walsh was a thing for a while. But then when the coach reached out and I met all the girls and I came on campus, it was pretty immediate. I committed when I was here. So it was a very easy choice once I actually came here. So.
Well, we're all glad that you figured it out and found out
Me
about
too.
Walsh University. All right, remember, always patronize our good friends at Bell Stores, Cleveland Clinic, Mercy Hospitals, BSN Sports, Huntington Bank, and the Sam Center. New facility up in Canal Fulton. Make sure to get behind them, all that they do for area military and giving back to military families in need. All right, let's break down a little volleyball. 6-game win streak here now. Obviously, target's going to be on the back. You know what you guys want. You know what the expectations are, and as you set your sights on, let's just call it the back half stretch of the season. What are the expectations here? What, in your mind, will remove coach from the equation here when it's just the girls talking, right? What are you ladies talking about? What do you want? I mean, is it just like, hey, win the GMAC first, and then let's get into the tournament and let's, win the whole thing? What are some of those conversations like, Jamie?
Well, for us, it's really taking it 1 point at a time. We're taking it 1 match at a time, 1 point at a time. We have an end goal in mind, but if we are focusing on that, then we're not going to do what we need to do in the moment. So just taking it 1 moment at a time, 1 play at a time, that's the way that we're getting through this.
I think it's baby steps, starting with today's practice and then going into tomorrow's game and building off of that and just continuing throughout the season.
Yeah. Now, you obviously being around here a long time, senior, right? You, along, just like Aurora, you've seen a couple different coaches.
Yep.
I mean, what is Coach Holt's kind of brought in a different philosophy?
Yep.
He's allowed you guys to have some newfound success. What's Coach Holt really meant to you in this entire program?
I mean, I think it's just been a different look at things. He is very hard on us, and I think but the hard comes from he knows what we can do, and he's expecting us to play it at that high level. And so, yes, he's going to be hard on us.
Trying to bring out the best in you.
Exactly. But he also has those moments where he's going to be like, just breathe. It's just volleyball. So being hard on us, but in a way where he believes in what we can do.
Yeah. So Jamie has recently got to experience some of the energy that comes out of Alumni Arena, right? And, like, I'm joking with Coach, I mean, what is it like when you look up there and you see the president of your university crowd surfing in the student section? And, like, to know that, again, I've always told people I think the greatest thing about Walsh University is that all of the, not only the student body, but the other student athletes from the different sports, they get behind you guys. And, if somebody's playing over at Larry Stout Field, some of the volleyball players are over there. If somebody's playing inside of Alumni Arena, it's a basketball game, volleyball match, whatever it may be, the football players are over there. That's a great little chemistry, and it's fun. You want a packed house, and when you feel that energy, I mean, it's something completely different, and that's also something that will bring something different out of you, right?
Volleyball is so much of an energy game, so when you have pretty much the entire football team behind you
Yeah.
screaming, they may not always understand what's going on, but just having that energy is so helpful.
All they need to know is bump that spike, right?
Exactly.
There we go.
They just cheer when we cheer, but they cheer loud, so it's helpful.
Yeah.
What's that kind of new experience been like for you? I mean, you've got to experience energy at one university, you've got to experience it here now at another university, and I mean, it's a lot. It's special though, right?
Yeah, it's special, and it really does help. Like, you never think that, like, the fans could be such an important part, but they truly are. Like, they give you the motivation to go and do your job and to win each point. It's really awesome, and it's just cool to know that, like, coming in, I didn't know what I was going to expect, but Walsh truly is a family. Like, and that's like a cliche to say that it's a family here, but it truly is. Like, everybody has each other's backs, no matter what sport, no matter boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Like, we all have each other's backs.
And I think that's something that you kind of felt too, right? Like you said, when you got here and you're like, man, I committed right on site. You kind of felt that family atmosphere, and you've gotten to experience a lot throughout your career, and the rivalry with Malone being right down the street. You guys are going to take them on tomorrow night. Make sure everybody travel on down there, go and check out these ladies as they get a victory and go to 7 in a row now. When you get done, stop back by the Winking Lizard and celebrate here at Washington Square. But for you, when you think back on some of your fondest memories, obviously a lot of great stuff happened last year, but for you as an individual, like, what are like some key moments that kind of stick out to you from your time here at Walsh University?
Yeah, it's always been the people, whether it's on the court or off the court. Being able to spend time with the girls is so amazing, and obviously built connections that's going to last longer than volleyball ever will. So it's always been the people.
Aurora said Hillsdale.
Oh, that too.
For you so far, I mean, what's been kind of that special, like, key moment just so early in this process of Walsh University for you?
I mean, just early on, I came in, it was kind of hard for me, like, to adjust to this new school, new team. But these girls truly just picked me up from the beginning and haven't put me down. So, I mean, just having these girls around me every day, it just makes me excited to wake up, makes me excited to go to volleyball. Like, I've never been I've never truly enjoyed volleyball like I have this year.
Yeah. For those that don't know, and I talked a little bit about this with some of the rugby guys, you know, what are you studying?
I'm studying psychology.
Okay, so for you, like, was it an easy transition being able to get, you know, credits or transfer stuff coming down to another school and university? I mean, how does that all look, you know, when you have to do it's the student athlete thing first, right? I mean, was it an easy adjustment for you for the school load?
So luckily we were part of this, there was this thing called a teach out program. So
Yeah.
there were like 9 or 12 schools and Walsh was one of them. So they said, we want you guys. We're going to take your credits. We're going to take your financial aid packet. We want to make sure that you guys are set. So I talked to them. They helped me out, and it was such a breeze. I didn't know it could be so easy. And it was the people up at Walsh that really just made it so easy.
That's good. Anna, tell us about what you're studying.
I'm getting my master's in occupational therapy.
You're already on to the Masters. Look at you taking full advantage.
Yep.
Go ahead. That's cool. I'm really I'm excited for you guys to really see what the back half looks like here for you. So when you both of you, I'll let you go first, Jamie. When people look back, I asked Aurora and Coach this to kind of finish things out. When people look back on the 2024 women's volleyball team, what do you want them to remember most?
Well, first and foremost, we really like to emphasize that in the beginning, we are all good people. We make sure that everybody on our team, that before volleyball players, that we are good people and we make good decisions and we say the right things and we do the right things. So I think when people look back on this team and this year, they see us as individuals first and how amazing we are as people. And that translates onto the volleyball court. And we are amazing teammates and we support each other on and off in any ways that we can.
Well said. You're going to have a tough time beating that one.
Yeah, beat that.
You know, I'll go from a volleyball perspective. I want people to remember that we were relentless on the court.
Yeah.
But most importantly, that we have fun on the court. And I think that it's something that some teams don't necessarily do. Like, it's strictly business to them. But, yes, you'll see us get really competitive, but then we're joking around after the point. But we can get back at it. But having fun, like, that's why we all start playing sports in the first place. So having fun, winning games.
Nice. Yeah, if you're not having fun, I mean, why do it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you guys both look like you're enjoying it. A pair of senior leaders here for the Walsh women's volleyball team. Jamie Zeckler, Anna West, appreciate you joining us here on Wednesdays at the Wink. Nothing but the best, not only tomorrow when you go over there and take down the Malone Pioneers, but through the rest of the season. So go get the GMAC, go get that national championship, go stack some hardware in the trophy case.
Yep.
You know that us here at SMG Network, we will always be behind you, and make sure to get behind these ladies by going to either athletics.walsh.edu, nice little write-up that they had on the front of the website today, and also download the Walsh Athletics mobile app. Go to Google Play, Apple Store, wherever you get your apps, and stay up to date with these girls. Buy tickets, get stats, schedules, scores, everything you need to know about Walsh Athletics and our great friends here at the Walsh University. All right, remember, stop over here at the Winking Lizard anytime, all day, every day, whether it's after an event, before an event, anytime. Come over here and patronize the Washington Square Winking Lizard. All right, for these ladies here, again, Anna West and Jamie Zeckler, and for Aurora Levengood and Coach Brett Holt, we will be back next week with another episode of Wednesdays at the Wink right here at the Washington Square Winking Lizard. Until then, as we always say,
Swords up.
See ya.